Minister Anthony Albanese making a major announcement. We know $3.6 billion towards a pay boost for childcare workers. There is a catch, though. Let's listen to the detail.
This whole sector. And today's announcement, which will mean a 10% increase in the wages of early educators and childcare workers from December. That means an increase in people's pay packets of over $100 a week. An additional 5% from December next year, meaning a total increase in wages of more than $150. Now, that is about making sure that this sector has a workforce into the future, making sure that there's proper value over these 2 years while the work value case is taking place before the Fair Work Commission. In our Better Jobs, Secure Pay legislation that we passed as one of our first measures in industrial relations, what we did was we put gender pay equity as one of the objectives of the Fair Work Act. That's because it is no accident that feminised industries like childcare and aged care, social work, other industries, which are dominated by women, were the most underpaid. That's because these workers here know that if they take industrial action, it has a devastating impact, like our nurses and other sectors that have been dominated by women. The care sector needs to be valued. And that's why it needs government and the Fair Work Commission to take that into account. This is good for these workers. Importantly, it's good for our children as well. Since we came to office, we see an increased number of people working in the sector, increased number of centres being opened. This will apply across the board for not-for-profit, for-profit, for out-of-school hours care, as long as those sectors as well pass on the benefit to families, which is why it's good. Making sure that we put a cap on fee increases if centres are to be eligible for this wage increase. Now, that will make a difference for families. But it's also good for our economy, because what this will do is increase workforce participation, make sure that more women can return to work earlier, make sure that so many women cannot be disadvantaged by working an extra day or two, that they can re-enter the workforce, boosting productivity. So good for workers, good for our youngest Australians, good for our economy and productivity. This is a very positive day, and I'm very pleased and want to congratulate the workforce who are here, but right around Australia as well. This is something where, as I've gone into centres here in my electorate, but across every state and territory, what I've met is workers who are so committed to making a difference to the young Australians that they help. This isn't why they do it. It's not about their wages, and still, they're not going to be overpaid, let me say that. They do it out of their commitment to making a difference, out of the pleasure and pride they get in seeing the really vibrant young people such as those that we've met here in Leichhardt this morning. They make a difference. They deserve our thanks, but they also deserve decent wages, and that's what this will be doing. I also want to give a shout out to Jason and Anne, who'll speak to you now. They've done a fantastic job. There's more work to be done in this area, but they've done a great job as advocates working through these issues to achieve today's result by working with the union, by working with the sector, centre providers as well, to make sure that we get this right, to make a big difference. And it will make a big difference, not just today, not just in the next year, but this is one of those reforms that changes the way that Australia functions into the future for the next generation.